welcome to Tiny Table Talk for the Challenge World Championships episode 1 and 2. In this video, I'll be going over my early thoughts of how I feel about the season and the competitors and just the vibe of the overall season, crowning the MVPs of week 1, as well as getting to some comments from my Thursday's review and recap. So without further ado, let's jump into the first segment. When coming into a challenge season, I normally am very excited. I'm hopeful. I am looking forward to a new chapter, a new season to begin. And coming into the Challenge World Championships, it is no different. I was actually feeling even more excited coming into the World Championships, 1, after seeing the trailer, and 2, after seeing the cast and all the global spin-off seasons. Having such a diverse group has lent itself to some entertaining strategy and just entertainment in general. I just have to say, if you're the Challenge production team, you have to be super ecstatic with how the first 2 episodes have gone this season. I mean, kicking off the season with a qualifier for the global MVPs to see how they stack up against each other, and the qualifier being so thorough, testing out eating, testing out strength, testing out durability, testing out stamina. This qualifier was so fun to watch. I kind of wish that the MTV Legends had to do something similar to it, but I understand that we need to cut down the global MVPs by 2 people just so we could have an equal number of global MVPs and MTV Legends for when everybody partnered up at the beginning of episode 2, so I'm not mad about that. I love that the first episode really gave a lot of time for everybody to kind of like find their footing. We didn't rush through the strategy, we didn't rush through any storylines, and let everything feel organic in the way that all the storylines were starting to come out. The people were talking with each other, who was starting to become friends with whom, from which shows were starting to become friends and maybe start new alliances. I thought this was really excellently done, to the point where I was very shocked when the episode 2 was only 45 minutes long. And on top of it, we're left there waiting to see what's going to happen, whether John Hay and Grant are going to vote in Kellyanne and Tristan, or they're going to vote in Jody and Benha into the elimination. We're kind of left in the middle of an actual episode, and it looks like we're going to have a little bit more time to develop everything, and then we're going to get into the elimination next week, as we're going to follow Kellyanne in the next episode, where she could be spiraling, going on the defensive, and bringing more drama to the house, which we've all been waiting for. We want some of this drama. We want some of this entertainment and this strategy, and I just feel that the World Championship is hitting on all cylinders for the first 2 episodes. My only hope is that we can keep this entertainment level to the highest through the whole run. Luckily, we know that this season is only 12 episodes, so we have about 10 more weeks of this, which feels like it's gonna fly by in comparison to what we just endured with the Challenge 38 being 22 weeks long, 22 episodes. But in saying that, in summary, I was coming into this season very hyped, very excited, and I left this week after watching the first 2 episodes even more excited. And I wonder, what is the difference between this season and past challenge seasons? With all the new players and the global MVPs, we got to watch them and get to know them on their own challenge spin-offs and get to watch them how they play a challenge-like game, a challenge-like season, how they maneuver. We know that they can hold their own water in a challenge season for the most part. For most of them, we know that they can hold their own water and stand on their own 2 feet in a competition like the challenge, that we know them more, so we're more invested in a season like this. Or is it because it's on Paramount Plus? And not to say that the Challenge MTV production team doesn't care about what they put on the actual TV and cable of MTV's channel, but in Paramount Plus, there's definitely a different vibe that we get. So is it that it's because it's streaming on Paramount Plus that it feels different, it feels unique? Or is it because this World Championship final package of this global spin-offs, where it has taken so much to get to this one season, to get the cast built out for this one season, that we had to have 4 other seasons, including all the MTV Legends, brought together, get to the point where they can have one giant season called the World Championships, and then they put all their tender love and care into this season, because I think that that could also be a factor in this as well, that they want this specific product, this specific season to be such a hit. I'll be honest, I think that they stumbled in some of the way they handled some of this global spin-off seasons with the Challenge Australia and the Challenge UK being so short, and Challenge Argentina wasn't even put out onto Paramount Plus before this season. So we have no idea who these people are. But this World Championship season, episodes 1 and 2, are awesome. I love this season so far, and I just pray that whatever they did to start this season off well, one, that it holds up through the whole season, and two, whatever they did, the process of doing this season and coming up with it, that they take this concept, this idea, this mentality, this energy, this positive vibes from this season, and use that to create other challenge seasons, whether it's on Paramount Plus or on the MTV, because I love it. I love this season so far. I really can't wait for next week's episode, and that's really the only downside I feel about this season, besides nitpicking the color of the jerseys that everybody is wearing. I think they're kind of bland. I feel like they could have done something to really characterize them, maybe put them in more of their country's colors, maybe like a light blue for Argentina, maybe a dark blue for Australia, and then you have maybe the US in all white uniforms. I don't know. I'm just thinking that maybe they could have done a little bit better than just gray. But yeah, my only hang up was the cliffhanger. And if that's the only thing I have to talk bad about these 2 episodes, you're doing a great job. So I'm really looking forward to episode 3. I'm loving this season so far. I think that this season can be very special. I don't want it to go by too quickly, but at the same time, I want to see all the episodes right now, like right at this very moment. All right, let's hand out some MVP awards for week 1, meaning episodes 1 and 2. I'm going to combine them. And for the men MVP this week, I have to give it up for Grant. He did an incredible job. Now, I remember talking about the cast and the list that was dropped earlier and all the cast photos. And when talking about Grant, I was very skeptical and I was criticizing him. Why did we even have Grant on this season? And then he comes in and just shows up and goes, this is why they have me on the cast this season. Winning back-to-back challenges, showing he's a strong competitor solo-wise and partner-wise, winning with John A in the first daily challenge, the first partner daily challenge. Grant is doing an incredible job. Can he keep up this momentum? We're going to have to wait and see, but I love how Grant's competing so far in this season. And on the women's side, I have to give the MVP to Kiki. Yes, she was blindsided. Yes, she was voted into the first elimination. However, she came out and showed that she is not someone to be messed with, someone to be underestimated, and she put up a hell of a performance in that pole wrestle against Claudia, doing the splits and winning very convincingly 3-0. I thought Kiki did a great job. Honorable mentions, I would say Zara, who was someone on my radar. I think if her and Wes would have finished higher up in the first daily challenge, the chain game, maybe she would have bumped her way into the top 2 MVPs. I also thought Justine did an incredible job in the qualifier. How she was struggling early on in that qualifier with the eating portion, with the hammer at home, getting last of the last in that second checkpoint, but she roared all the way back to finish 3rd for the women. Very, very incredible. Tristan has been very disappointing up in the beginning of this challenge. I don't know if it's just because it's something new, he's not familiar with all of these different tasks, or whatever. He's just not being able to find his footing early, and it's not looking good for him being put up as a nominee to possibly going into another elimination. I mean, he got saved because Nathan was pulled from the game medically. Tristan was able to escape elimination, his first in his challenge career. However, he gets like second to last and then gets voted in to possibly being sent into an elimination yet again. It's not looking good for Tristan. I thought he was the winner of the Challenge UK. I thought he was going to have his footing. I thought he was going to be somebody to not mess with. It's not looking good for him. And I'm hoping he can pick it up. I'm hoping him and Kellyanne can figure out something. It's just not looking good. Even Kellyanne, not just Kellyanne with her partner, but Kellyanne with the rest of the MTV legends who she deems as friends. It doesn't seem like they have her back either. So it really, really isn't good. But it could be good storylines. It could be good dramatics moving forward, which is very entertaining. And I can't wait to see it. Gosh, is it Wednesday yet? I want to see episode 3 so bad. Now let's get to some comments from my Thursday's review and recap video, and the first comment comes from Jordan, who says, "I'm so mad why they didn't bring the Argentinian champion." Now, there's a rumor floating around, or the news I heard, was that after the Argentina season had been wrapped up filming, the World Championship season was going to start filming like right afterwards, almost like a week afterwards. And so everybody, or majority of people who were in the final, was like, I need a break. I mean, I am mentally exhausted. I'm physically exhausted. If you want me at my high peak and want me to perform well, I need to have more time to bounce back and to recover. And also, there was a lot of people that had obligations after this challenge Argentina season had wrapped up filming. So I heard that they just asked around and got the best people who said yes. Now, I do love all the Argentina players that did arrive, but to me, I'm kind of flustered at that as well. Sunny to the J comes in with a comment saying, "I like the breakdown of what is needed for the challenge by percentage." I do that too. I am a little skeptical of how they decided with the percentages on there, but I do like the new stuff that they added for this season. I like the way that they do confessionals. I like that they have the mini people on the bottom of the screen to kind of talk and not break up the scene as it's going on. So I like that aspect as well. And yes, I like the little cards that shows the game, what the game looks like, and showing off what you need to do and what do you need, like 70% endurance, 30% strength, or anything like that. I do like the little additions that they try to do. Again, it looks like they put in time, effort, care into this season in just a small way. That small detail of just adding in an extra card, an extra filter, an extra way of kind of trying to break down the game makes it feel new, makes it feel fresh. Ben comes in with a comment saying, "Anyone else peep that during the sledgehammer section, some people were just scooting / pulling the tire with the sledgehammer?" I noticed it with Nathan in particular. I think he was the first one to do it, or at least in the edit, it looked like he was doing it. If the rules were that you have to get your tire from one side of the lane to the other using the sledgehammer, and it didn't specify that you had to hit it every single time, then that is a great workaround to play smarter, not harder. Julia comes in with a comment saying, "I didn't like Grant on Challenge Australia, but I'm liking him so far this season. I feel like he's going to be a good partner for John A." I'm right there with you. I wasn't a huge fan of Grant. Granted, he wasn't in the best of alliances. I mean, his friends and his alliance was getting picked off one by one amongst the big batchy alliance that was in there. But this season, he seems to be coming in a little bit more fierce, a little bit more ferocious, as well as picking an incredible partner in John A in the way that they are able to work with each other, where Grant is very strong and John A is really good at puzzles, and they complement each other very, very well. Yeah, I wasn't expecting much from Grant coming into this season, but after watching him compete and winning back-to-back challenges or daily challenges or wherever you want to say, he won back-to-back competitions, and he's looking like a person that is going to be really tough to beat. Eric comes in with a comment saying, "I was disappointed to see Nathan go so soon as well. Hopefully they will bring him back." We can only hope, Eric. I really am sad that Nathan is gone. I loved his confessionals in the Challenge UK, especially when he deemed himself as Shrek in a balls in. I was like, this man has my heart. Trace coming in with a comment saying, "Wes being the #1 overall pick was the highlight for me, especially they showed Banana's face. You know those two and Jordan wanted it more than anyone." That is correct. I mean, John A technically went #1 overall, but for the men's side, Wes went #1. I think that everybody picked the partner that they all wanted, because Bananas didn't want to be partnered up with anyone but a US competitor, and so he was happy that he was going to be partnered up with Justine. Kaz, who was second up for the women to pick, if she picked Bananas, they could have came in last place. I mean, Kaz is really bad at puzzles, needed a puzzle master, and she definitely got the right partner in Jordan. So I think everything fell the way it exactly needed to fall for everybody to be happy, which Justine and Bananas are happy, Jordan and Kaz are happy, as well as Zara and Wes are happy. But yeah, I think it's gonna bruise his ego for a bit, like a bruised banana. But at the end of the day, I'm sure he's happy having Justine as a partner. DDVHB comes in with a comment saying, "Wow, who would have thought that variety in the cast would be so fresh and give us drama and entertainment and conflict like finally?" I mean, exactly. It's not like we haven't said this all before, or if I've said it in previous videos or in a previous 100 videos and all of the challenge seasons that I've covered. But yeah, there's definitely something different about this season, whether it's the cast, whether it's because it's on Paramount Plus, whether it's because we know the cast coming into this one season, or it's because there's been so much time and effort and preparation coming into this season because they had to do 4 other seasons. Whatever is the case, this season feels different. And I want this feeling to move through the rest of the season as well as onto other seasons like All Stars, like the flagship show, like all the other global spin-offs that are probably going to come. Taco Farm, love that handle. Jordan being denied a high five and then high-fiving himself had me dying. That was really, really funny. Reminded me of a Tom Brady where it's just like Grant and John A are just excited, jumping around in that moment of being like, congratulations, I'm a team player. Jordan is just like, yeah, high five. Paulos comes in with a comment saying, loving this season already, and the trailer in episode 1 looks amazing. Would love if you were able to do a breakdown. Not too much spoilers besides that hall brawl shot, trying to figure out who these arguments are directed to, like when Danny and Jordan and Kellyanne were yelling. Great work as usual. Thank you so much. I'm glad you enjoyed the Thursday's review and recap, and I will be doing a breakdown of that trailer from episode 1 of the What's to Come This Season trailer at the end of episode 1. The thing is that I will be doing a breakdown live on a Saturday Night Live for my Patreon only, a Patreon exclusive Saturday Night Live. And then I will be taking that footage, editing it up, and putting up an abridged edited version on Tuesday, March 14th. So if you want to be there during the live, watching me break down this trailer shot for shot, and even get to interact with other challenge fans and other people from my Patreon, and including myself interacting with me and getting to talk about the trailer as well, go to patreon.com/angelcakevids. There's a link in the description. You can sign up. You have to be signed up for the $3 tier and up to be a part of that live. But if not, Tuesday will be when I will be dropping that shot-for-shot trailer breakdown on the channel. Dimitri comes in with a comment saying, not usually a fan of an episode being split up like this, but I'm shamelessly hyped for the level of drama Kellyanne is about to bring into this game. She was like teetering, you know? Kellyanne was pretty upset. She's kind of over everybody's garbage, and it's only like the 3rd day, but you can just tell that the little stuff that's bubbling on the inside of her is just going to explode and erupt next episode, especially with other like shenanigans that could happen in this house. It's going to get good. I cannot wait for this drama and see what's going to happen. I love it. I love it so much. I love it when people are just angry at each other because we've been missing that. We've been missing that on the main show. Some actual drama, some actual paranoia, and I'm so excited. I can't wait. And the final comment comes from Lido Finito. Sorry if I butchered your name there. They say, this show is good AF. Feels like a real challenge show. Couldn't agree with you more. This feels so good. This feels like a challenge of old meets some modern challenge, and it just feels so good. It's only the first 2 episodes, so I'm trying not to get too hyped, but it's kind of too late. I'm already hyped. But that is it for this week's Tiny Table Talk. What'd you think about these episodes? Let me know down in the comment section below. Who would you give your week 1 MVPs to? Let me know that as well. Do you agree with my MVP picks of Kiki and Grant? If not, who would you give your MVP awards for week 1 down in the comment section below? Also, who are you nervous about? Are you nervous for Tristan and Kellyanne like I am? Let me know down in the comment section below, as well as just what are your early thoughts? I saw a lot of comments in my review and recap loving this season, but what do you think is the cause of this season feeling good? If you are really enjoying this season, what do you think is the cause? Do you think it's because it's purely on Paramount Plus? Do you think it's the cast and us knowing the cast coming into this season more than we do, like say on Challenge 37, when they just have an influx of rookies from all over the world that we have no idea what they are going to bring to the show, or if they even kind of deserve to be on the show? Let me know anything and everything of your theories down in the comment section below. I'm going to give a special shout out thank you to everyone who supports me over at patreon.com/angelcakevids. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your generosity. Thank you. And thank you to everyone who is watching this video up to this point. I'll be back really soon with more Challenge World Championship content, more challenge content, more content in general. But until then, peace.